This video is about how to change your relationships, how to relate to other people, and I cannot think of a title right now because I'm not sure at how exactly I'm gonna talk about this, but also how it's okay to have no friends and to be alone. And I'm pretty far out of my comfort zone right now because I'm afraid to talk about that. But what I want to say is so right now, and since 1 year more or less, I have no friends in my life. It might sound pretty strange for most people. So it's a choice and it isn't. So it's not like I don't want to have any friends. I'd love to have a lot of friends. But all the people I know and I have met until now, and so those are just the people I have met, and I think this is all a dream, so they're just a reflection of me. So I think it's also my own. I own that. They're not a match for me. So when I'm with them, I'm either bored very quickly, or I feel strange because I feel that they're emotionally quite needy. And I have a few acquaintances, and I also have my old friends, and I have my family. So it's not like I'm alone. I'm also seeing people going out like on my own, and like doing activities where there are a bunch of people. So I see a lot of people, but also at my work. But I don't have any friend, and I'm not anymore afraid to like say that because it's the case in my life. I've not no one to whom I really can relate in a deep manner since 1 year more or less. And so this is just like the background. And so I have a few acquaintances in my life, and now I'm getting to the point where I just sometimes feel that when I'm with certain people that I kind of have like this relationship with them where I see them like once a week or a few times a week, or they're not really friends, but they're people I really like. I like spending time with. But as I'm growing and I'm getting less and less, like I have less and less this feeling of being alone, feeling lonely. So when I'm alone, which is like a lot of times in my free time, I'm alone, I do a bunch of stuff and I really enjoy the moment. I've dealt with these emotions of really feeling alone and feeling like shit just because I'm alone. And most people haven't done that. And therefore, you're going to see that most people, as they relate to each other in a needy way. And the reason why is they are afraid to be alone, they are not comfortable being alone, and they feel negative emotions being alone. So what they do is they run from it because they don't know how to deal with these emotions. They run from it and use other people in order to feel to fill up that void. I don't know. Yeah, to like to fill up that void and to not feel just like this negative emotion anymore. And that's what I've been doing for all my life until recently. So I know this pretty good. And so most people do this, but not all. I also meet people whom I feel are not needy. It's like they don't care whether I'm with them or not. You feel that they're stable. They've got this vibe that they're just like they don't care whether they're with you or not. But there are a lot of other people that I have in my life, and I feel that they kind of like have this needy relationship with me. And so I am no more comfortable spending time with these people, and I have no problem with that. And now what I'm going to do in my life is to say it to these people. Until now, I've always been avoiding it by just like not seeing these people, by making some sorts of excuses like, no, I don't have time to meet you, or what do I say, like yeah, I just want to do something else, or just like so many ways you can escape that. But the real reason is when I'm with certain people, I don't feel good in their presence because I feel that they need me. and that if I'm gone, they don't want me gone. And I don't feel that way with people anymore. If they're there, it's cool. If they're not there, it's awesome because I enjoy my time so fucking much. And so this video is actually about how, first off, it's okay to not have friends, to be alone, and also like to show you that it's actually only an emotion that we're trying to escape, and that's when being alone is framed so negatively by everyone. But once you've dealt with that emotion, being alone is a positive thing. Why wouldn't it be? It's not an inherently negative thing. And also, I want to say that it is okay to not want to spend time with people and to tell them that. Because most people are needy and they just are going to take your energy, and they're basically are going to use the relationship for them in order to escape negative emotions and kind of like to feel better, and you can't feel that. And as long as that's what you are doing as well, what I know that I've been doing it with people like all my life. It's fine because you don't really understand that. You're like, well, I don't like being alone, so it's fine, you know. We don't want to be alone, so we're hanging out. But once you've dealt with that, it's not the same anymore. And people who are still like this, you relate differently to them and see that they're using you in order to feel better. And it's not intellectual. It's truly, for me, on the level of feelings, you know. You feel like, oh, they see you, they want to hang out, and you don't really care. And so you're like, this feels strange. Like, what don't you first enjoy your just time and be happy, and then we hang out? And so I want to say that when you're at this point, it's okay to tell people. It's not a bad thing to tell people that you don't want to hang out with them, because either you find that you don't have enough in common, so you are bored, and also that you don't feel emotionally good with them because you feel that they're using you emotionally, which most people are doing anyway. So it's not a personal thing. It's like they have it's not like you're telling them they're bad people, but you're telling them they've got beliefs running and emotions that they haven't processed that you did. And you don't want to feel that energy anymore. You don't want to feel these emotions anymore. But one important thing is you got to be pretty honest with yourself and clear and see what is coming from you and what is coming from other people. If the reason why you don't want to hang out with people is because you're afraid to tell them the truth and share who you are still learning from the relationship. And if you don't want to hang out with the people anymore, then it's out of fear. And it's the same than what they're doing. You're escaping this feeling of fear. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about being afraid of sharing who you are. I'm talking about being either bored or feeling uncomfortable just because you're not on the same emotional state than other people, and there's just too much of a gap. And so you feel like you just don't enjoy the moment when these people are with you anymore. Or you don't enjoy it as much as when you're alone. Let's put it this way. Because I think whoever the fuck you're with, you're able to enjoy the moment normally. So it's not a bad thing to say that. You're not a bad person if you're going through this and if you have to tell this to other people. It's challenging though, because you're going to deal with social conditioning that just has been imprinted it in you by parents, family, society for decades, if you're my age, or like, you know, for 18, however age you are, you know. And so you're gonna feel these fears. So that I'm currently going through this with one friend of mine. He's a friend, and I will have to tell him that hey, right now I don't want to hang out with you because I feel this gap of emotion between you and me, and I don't like that. I feel uncomfortable. And it doesn't mean that I don't like him as a person, that I don't validate him as a person, but I also feel that when I'm going to tell him that, he's going to feel bad. And why? It's because he's afraid to like feel alone, and he hasn't dealt with this emotion. And so it would be kind of hypocritical from me to not talk about it and still hang out with that person and just like avoid the subject and be like, okay, I have to be good to him, you know, and not make him angry and make him feel good. Fuck no. Fuck no. Because you're not helping other people by not telling them the truth and by not making them angry. And most times when we don't want to do that is out of fear. It's because of our own fears. It's not because we're afraid that these people are not going to be happy. So this process requires true honesty, and it's fucking challenging because you deal with such social conditionings, but those are all software on your hardware. It's not you. You're able to just like be yourself, and it's fine. It's all right. And so I want to say this because I don't see any video on YouTube where someone is talking about it in this way. And maybe people are not going through this. Maybe I'm the only fucking one, but I don't believe this. I believe people are afraid to share their struggles, and I feel angry. I really feel angry that people are not doing it, because I feel like that's what I would have needed in order to feel a little bit better when I didn't feel good. And so that's the purpose of my video. It's making people who are alone and who feel they're just different from anyone they're meeting, making them feel good, because it is okay. It's a process, and you're gonna be way more unhappy if you don't listen to your heart and to your emotions anyways. So what do you want? Depression or fear? And facing your fears. Facing your fears is less painful than depression. And depression is what you're gonna be facing if you don't listen to your emotions and who you are and your emotional guidance. And certain people will have to go through that. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm not saying everyone has to go through that. I'm sure there are people who can become emotionally completely stable and go through that with having friends all the time. I'm sure it's possible. It's just not my case. Woo! Oh, fuck. Okay. Thanks for listening. And you're not alone. You're not going through these changes alone. I'm alone. I don't have friends. And it's fucking fine. I feel better and better. You just have to go through it. Thanks for listening.